You're watching NetRush Report, your home for everything sports, culture, and the crossover moments that grab global headlines. If you live for the drama behind the stars, both on and off the court, make sure you subscribe and join the rush. The saga begins with late-night host Jimmy Kimmel, who found himself suspended indefinitely after making controversial remarks about political activist Charlie Kirk's assassination at Utah Valley University. Kimmel also criticized Donald Trump's handling of the situation, putting him in direct conflict with Trump's allies. The backlash was swift. Disney, which owns ABC, pulled Kimmel off the air. For days, speculation swirled. Was this really about the comments themselves, or was there political pressure behind the scenes? Enter Martina Navratilova. The Czech-American tennis legend, never one to shy away from tough conversations, accused Trump of being the driving force behind Kimmel's suspension. Navratilova has long been outspoken, not just about tennis, but about human rights, LGBTQ+ issues, and politics. This wasn't her first clash with Trump, but it may have been one of her most explosive. Disney quickly realized the suspension had backfired. The network was hemorrhaging credibility and losing millions in ad revenue. Within a week, Kimmel was back. His first show after the suspension was a highly emotional broadcast. He thanked fans, fellow comedians, and late-night hosts who stood by him. Glenn Powell, Hollywood's rising star, was the marquee guest. But the highlight wasn't Powell. It was Kimmel himself, delivering a raw, vulnerable monologue that drew more than 7 million views on ABC's YouTube channel alone. That's when Martina Navratilova struck. Reacting to Kimmel's triumphant return and the massive audience numbers, she took to her X handle with a forward message for Trump. It was concise, cutting, and impossible to ignore. Fans immediately knew who she was addressing, and it reignited debate about the extent of Trump's influence on media corporations. Navratilova is no stranger to controversy. During her playing days, she defected from Czechoslovakia to the United States in search of freedom. She built one of the greatest careers in tennis history: 18 Grand Slam singles titles, 31 doubles majors, and a legacy that still towers over the sport. But after retiring, she didn't retreat into the shadows. Instead, she found her voice as an activist. She has frequently voiced her issues with Donald Trump's policies, from immigration to women's rights, and from LGBTQ+ protections to education. The Kimmel suspension gave her another chance to speak out, and she seized it. Earlier this year, she also called out Trump for reportedly ordering the removal of slavery exhibits, a move critics slammed as an attempt to whitewash American history. Navratilova was relentless, arguing that erasing history is the first step toward repeating its darkest chapters. Trump, of course, has been waging his own wars, this time against the media. Not long before the Kimmel fiasco, Trump filed a staggering $15 billion lawsuit against several major American media houses, including the New York Times. His claim: unfair portrayals of him during the elections. To many, this was yet another example of Trump's long-running feud with mainstream press outlets. Navratilova reacted swiftly to the lawsuit, once again blasting Trump online. For her, these weren't isolated incidents. They were part of a broader pattern of silencing critics, reshaping narratives, and punishing dissent. Some might wonder, why does a tennis legend care so much about late-night television and political lawsuits? The answer lies in Navratilova's history. From her defection to her battles as one of the first openly gay athletes in professional sports, she understands firsthand what it means to fight for your voice. For her, Trump's actions against Kimmel, or his lawsuits against media giants, aren't just political maneuvers. They're threats to freedom of speech and truth itself. And fans notice. Whenever Navratilova speaks out, the reaction is intense. Supporters praise her bravery, while critics accuse her of overstepping. But either way, her voice carries weight. In this case, her forward post sparked headlines across both sports and political media. Let's not forget the other central figure in this story, Jimmy Kimmel himself. His suspension raised serious questions about free speech, corporate responsibility, and the relationship between comedy and politics. By returning with an emotional, unapologetic monologue, Kimmel not only reclaimed his platform, but also turned the controversy into momentum. 7 million views for a single late-night episode is no small feat. It represented more than curiosity. It was a cultural moment. Navratilova's message tied directly into that moment. using Kimmel's success as a counterpunch to Trump. Even amid the political storms, Navratilova has stayed connected to the sport that made her a legend. She was recently spotted at the 2025 US Open, reliving memories of her own triumphs there. She won the singles title in New York 4 times, etching her name into the tournament's history. Seeing her courtside reminds fans that while her activism dominates headlines today, her roots remain firmly in tennis. It's precisely that combination, her sporting credibility and her fearless commentary, that makes her voice so unique in conversations far beyond the baseline. At its core, this story isn't just about Jimmy Kimmel or Donald Trump. It's about freedom of expression, corporate power, and the role of athletes turned advocates in shaping public discourse. Martina Navratilova's 4 words cut through the noise because they came from someone who has lived the stakes of freedom. It also highlights the modern reality. In today's world, sports legends don't retire from relevance. They carry their voices into new arenas, from social justice to politics to culture. And in Navratilova's case, she's proving that her fight for fairness didn't end when she left the tennis court. It only evolved. So what do you think? Was Martina Navratilova right to call out Donald Trump after Jimmy Kimmel's suspension and comeback? Or should athletes avoid diving into political controversies once they hang up their rackets? Let us know in the comments below. You've been watching NetRush Report, where the game never ends and the stories behind the stars take center stage. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a moment. Until next time, keep your eyes on the rush.